Hello, my name is James Zemer, and I'm the Historic Preservation Project Manager here at the University of Virginia. We've had a busy summer this year, starting immediately the day after final exercises. We've replaced the entire surface of the lawn. We're in the midst of replacing the roof of the rotunda. And we've also taken on an ambitious project to repair 105 chimney flues, 61 chimneys, and install a sprinkler system into every single room on the lawn and the ranges. A little over a year ago, folks in facilities management were doing investigations in some of the attic spaces above the student rooms on the lawn and the range. And in particular, I was crawling along and came up to one chimney and actually grabbed the brick and pulled it right out of the chimney. So when that happened, we knew that the problem needed to be addressed, and we undertook a comprehensive survey with the help of Black Goose Chimney Contractor to examine each and every chimney in the academical village. After that survey was complete, we found that the current liners that had been installed in the early 1990s had begun to fail and were causing detrimental damage to the historic chimneys.
The biggest challenge in working on something historic like this is that each and every brick is actually an artifact, and it's a lot of care has got to be taken into whatever you're doing so you don't destroy each of those artifacts. What we actually were doing, the demo had been completed earlier, like last month. The liner you've seen us pick up and put in will be the actual flue lining itself. We're getting ready to prepare the bottom end of it in the smoke chamber so the masons can come through and seal that up, and then I'll be preparing the top so they can come and seal the top end up. And then it's real close to completion at that point, to be able to be used for many years to come.
This is one of the final steps of this process. Earlier in the summer, we've worked really hard to get the demolition of the existing liners complete to get us to this stage. The demolition phase was extremely dirty, dusty, and noisy, so we focused on that to get that task done before the students got back in the fall. As with any historic restoration project, we've run into a couple of snags here and there and unexpected occurrences. For instance, there's been several chimneys that, as we've removed the roof around them, we found that we've had to take the entire chimney down and rebuild it just due to the deteriorated nature of the brick. In addition, the way the chimney flues were designed, many of the flues were back-to-back, serving two rooms, and there's only one width of brick separating them. As the existing liners were chipped out on several occasions, that width wall actually blew out, and we had to open up the wall inside the room in order to access that to rebuild the partition wall between the two chimney flues. The approach for this project took many trades. The first step in this was the UVA roofers would come along and open up about a 2-foot wide swath around every single chimney. And they did that in conjunction with UVA carpenters, who then put protection down on Jefferson's serrated roof, which is of course preserved in situ underneath the current slate roof configuration. After that, Black Goose Chimney came through and did the existing chimney flue liner demolition, which required grinding out the liner and using chipping hammers to remove it from both the top and the bottom. After this, UVA masons would come through, point up any deteriorated mortar, and in some cases rebuild entire chimneys. In advance of that work, UVA masons also rebuilt fireboxes, parged smoke chambers, and repaired the hearths within the different student rooms. And that's all part of the chimney work. The other part of this project was installing sprinkler lines. As a part of that, UVA carpenters and masons proceeded ahead of the sprinkler contractor, drilling holes through the partition walls between the rooms, and in some cases through the floors and through the ceilings in order to access the sprinkler pipes into the attic. We even had a husband and wife team, Chris and Michelle Herndon, who are UVA carpenters, working together in tandem on that. I made sure to tell them not to take the job home with them though. All these sorts of efforts really are what made this job happen. The crews were working, at times the heat was above 100 degrees up here on the roofs and in the attics, really almost unbearable conditions, and I really have to hand it to them. We're still going to be working into the fall, tying in sprinkler lines, doing exterior utility work, but the brunt of the most disruptive work has been complete, and that was our focus from the start of the summer. I hope you've enjoyed learning more about the Academical Village Chimney and Sprinkler Project. As a UVA alum myself, I truly appreciate your continued interest and support in historic preservation here at Mr. Jefferson's University.